that. She didn't ask that this morning. Like she's just like, we going live. Let's get this done and over with.
Well, I mean, you were on the screen. Your other screen is up, so I'm like, she ready.
Mm. How you doing this morning, D?
I am doing great this afternoon, Tim. How are you? It was a great show at 11:30.
Oh, cool. Glad you enjoyed it. Hey, why you so dark? And you have the new light. Did you put the new light up?
No, I don't have a new light.
D.
I don't.
You do.
No, I think I know what it is though.
You have a new light.
I don't have a new light.
Super bright.
I don't have a new light.
Okay. We're gonna let you
I
live
don't.
in
It's the same light that I have, but it's okay because I'm gonna get a new light and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be big like your light, and it's gonna stand
you
like
have that. It's already here.
where is it?
Oh, you don't have it yet? Oh, well, let me put it there again. I'll bring it to you.
She usually gets my lighting together before the show, but
That's what I'm saying. You didn't do all of that. You playing.
you know, this is my life.
Mar-
No
Marshana said
love,
you look.
no love.
Marshana said you look good, girl. Marshana put you in timeout. I just
Thank
playing
you,
with
girl. Help a sister out.
you. There's no help.
Thank you. Thank you. You know,
She's
I got a tough critic over here,
Yeah, it's
so
dark. We need to get that together. We need to get that all the way together.
she has the paint, she has a huge painting behind her, and the painting is like an acrylic high gloss, so it reflects the light. And so, we
D
all
had
don't have acrylic paintings behind us.
we have light reflection
But
umbrellas.
you're a little yellowish today.
I gotta get D together with her umbrellas and the lighting and the angle and stuff. I gotta get all that together. We don't have that. We don't have that's not together. We need to get that together. Yes, together.
You see what I have to go through?
Need to get that
The
together.
grand dame.
That's we need to get that together. We can't. This is we cannot take this over the binary hustlers. This production cannot go forward like that.
I definitely agree, but I need just, I'm not gonna tell you what I need because you don't care.
I do.
No, you don't. She's not calling me a diva. She's the diva.
Me? What? No.
You see all of this action?
Together.
That's the when she really in her diva mode. She will.
Not really. No, I'm not. I don't have no glasses on.
Where are your glasses?
I don't
Why
have
are
no
you
glasses
struggling?
on. I don't have no glasses on. I don't have my shades on. I don't even have my the earrings that I want to have on. I don't have my high gloss on my lips. I mean,
What's going? Do you need a chat? Do you need a moment? Let's lean in.
really,
What's going on? What's
really,
what's going on? I think
because
you're sleepy. What time did you go to sleep this morning?
I don't know 6:30 something like that. No,
So
I'm
tell
not
us what's on
sleepy.
your mind.
No, I'm not sleepy at all. Mm, nothing really. I'm thinking about the Rust class for tomorrow, the homework I gotta do. Then I'm thinking about what's for lunch, brunch. Then I'm thinking about do I want a little sippity sip? Should we have a sip?
Mhm.
Then I was like, should we do a compilation? I think we need to do like a compilation of all the shows for the year. And I'm like, how would I put that together? And then I'm thinking about the pool idea, so I want to look that up to see how I could put that into play. And my other ideas that I have, the automate stuff. Then I was thinking about, how when I'm gonna get my Oculus up on, I gotta come finish writing my class. You just whiteboarded the idea. Yeah, I was gonna send you a company to look at, that I just looked up. But I mean, yeah, we can run with it. I mean, it ain't got to be the only company out there to do it. And we live in Florida, so anybody would love that idea in Florida, where they don't have to clean their pool, right? The Like I said, the only thing is like the filter. You will have to have somebody, you know, either redesign the filter or filter it out, right? So clean it out. So how what can be used that still gets the, because we in Florida we got ants and spiders and stuff that hop in the pool, but they cook the
Geckos,
yeah,
frogs.
frogs, everything. So you always have to clean those things out. Yep. But the filtration tank got to be automated. So the other component that you can add to this, while I'm sitting here thinking about it, is how can you make that a renewable source, right? How can you um one, make it solar, and then the things that get sucked out, make that renewable, make that some type of renewable source, that feeds and powers back, something like that. We don't have alligators
We
over
don't
here.
have alligators. Not, I mean, not where we're at. Like, I haven't seen an
you
alligator
like I
just
say, you have to
running
be
down the
near a
street.
retention pond if you want alligators, or some type of water preservation or
They
something like
like
that.
swampy stuff. So, I mean, I can see them being over by like marshes or mangroves or something like that, but we don't stay around any of that type of stuff. So, now we might see like a coyote or, occasional alley cat or something like that, but a fox, I think a neighbor saw a fox or something, but we
I mean,
don't
I
get all
saw the
that stuff.
coyote, but
And in a
um
whole host of egrets and birds and all that other type of stuff. So, yeah, we're in Central Florida. So,
yeah, that's Fort
the
Lauderdale.
Fort
And
Lauderdale area.
down there, y'all got the pythons coming up from Alligator Alley and the boas and all of that. But I mean, I think they're spreading across Florida. But there was another one. That was um another lizard or something that they said go ahead and kill it if you see it, because it's eating up the eggs of some of the other animals, and it's like it don't care. So they was like,
Most of you see those animals like alligators and stuff. Like, you'll notice, you'll hear stories on golf carts or
golf
new
courses.
subdivision golf courses or new subdivisions. Like, anytime you go and mess with somebody's ecosystem, they're liable to come out and sit on your front porch.
No, the only thing is that we get here is whatever it is. D has brings cats around, and cats love her, so they be perched up everywhere. They bring her. Didn't you say the cat brought you a snake head? See, she
That's
don't
when I
want.
first moved here. Yeah, a snake get left, a little snake head, and I don't even like the cats. The lady upstairs was a cat lady, and she was feeding the cats, and I had to tell her, stop feeding these cats, lady. And it
Yeah,
was just one that would sit on my balcony, and I think he was just kind of
yeah.
waiting for
And
stuff.
one day I came home, it was one sitting in the yard, just chilling in front of in front of D's window, and then he was up on the ledge, chilling in front of D's window. Like, I don't know what she thought she was going, but
I don't
I'm
know. I
here.
pulled up something my grandmother had just passed, and it was something that I read about cats and death and stuff like that. But it was just a random cat. Oh, and I get birds in my office window that come, and I think it's the Russians. But the birds, they'll come like it's a blue jay that'll come and just be looking me dead in my face, which is really strange. So,
Yep, that's what we call a cat daddy.
I don't know anything about a cat daddy, but yeah, the cat was here for a minute, and we don't have any pets here. So the bachelorette villa doesn't have any cats.
Well, in engineering cannabis, you say the whole process is expensive, but but I think if we get it down to the point where you're using um not pit controllers, but what's the one I was looking at? The adrenal boards or something like that. I think we can get the cost down. I think that's the easy part. I think getting someone to engineer all together, I think we can get the cost down. Sensors, we can get the sensors and stuff down. We can get that down. We can find funding for that. In New Jersey, we had lanternflies this past summer, and they were eating up all the plants and the crops.
I mean, we've been having all type of end of days type of situations coming down for us. I mean, they've had bugs all across the country, hail, floods, fires. It's all around the world. It has been craziness.
All around the world, we taking over the globe. Y'all don't even know. Charlene, baby. That in case you didn't know, that was from Outkast and Raekwon. Old school fellas, the new school fools. Cats keep it jumping like kangaroos. Okay. That may be engineer cannabis. That may be your end right there. As
Yeah,
you
I
think
would love
about
to
that
work on this because
edge,
right now I'm the pool cleaner, and so I have to. I'm looking
you
up
got
pool stuff too,
inside data.
and I need to go scrub the pool. And then there's the fiberglass pools, then the in-ground tile pools, and then above ground pools and saltwater pools, and so there's a lot of stuff. But
Yep,
that's a whole nother conversation. But I need to do that today. I need to go scrub the pool and go get the water tested.
I hear that. All right, so um, in case you didn't know,
Progressive Black Ops, he's up.
you up?
He's up.
This the first time up all day. I hope the thoughts of me feeding you steak kept you full. He's the best electrical board designer at Cisco. Okay, we should chat that up. See what we can do. Run some numbers. Engineering cannabis. Run some numbers. We might could find investors just on a thing, just on a wheel. Never know.
I mean, because there's definitely like it's a need for it.
Just
It's
think of it.
definitely a need.
Just think of it this way. What if you had someone like, because one of the things is to test the water, right? And maybe you need what you need acid, and what else, some chlorine or something like that. What if your local pool delivery could just put what you need for your van on a pool route in a van, and the van just pulls up to your house. You walk outside, you get your stuff, you pour it in, or what you need, or what have you, for the month or whatever the case may be, and it just drives off. You just put the stuff back, right? Whatever. Or there's like I said before, there's a notice that gets sent to the local pool person or whoever you contract with, and they come out and they do what they need for you to do. So it's already automated, or it could be there. So like your service, what I'm simply saying is your service can be a multi-tiered type of service.
Yeah, because there's definitely a lot of chemistry involved. I like taking the water to the place and having them test it. I don't like doing the testing kit and stuff like that because it's so finicky. And then I like going to talk to the fellas because sometimes you certain things even itself out if you have a rain, if you don't have a rain, all that good stuff. I always smile. I don't know why you don't think I'm a smiler.
At least they know the truth.
I have no idea.
All right, so let's get cracking. I'm Tam. This D. I got it right. Look, I got it. Did I do it right? No, I still got it wrong. No, I got it right.
You got it right, but your arm was out of the screen.
It's all right. But this is D. It'd be cool
I'm
if
D.
my hand went over there and then did just start messing with you. That'd be cool. But it did. All right, this D and that's D and I am Tam, and we are Women in Linux, and you are the community of Women in Linux, where we talk about everything from we just did the show with tech stocks and jobs. Hope you enjoyed this show. From Oracle to Infinite World to Symbiotic and so forth, all the way down to talking about creating something around AI and blockchain for pools. And then I also showed my Oculus 2, which I have not set up my profile yet. So if you're in Slack and you have an Oculus 2 profile and what have you, I'm not sure how it works. I'm sure there's some type of profile thing or you recommend some games. Let me know so I can get started and start playing around with it and go from there when it's the polls code show. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to reach out to polls code. Why don't you do that for me, Q4? Why don't you do that? All right. So, yeah, we're Women in Linux, where you can find us at womeninlinux.org. You can also find us across social media at Women in Linux and, of course, meetup.com. I think on meetup.com, the shows that we do on the weekends are posted there. Are the shows that we just kind of just randomly do? Are they posted there too, or you just don't bother with that?
What do you mean the shows that we randomly
Like
post?
we did one last night. Did you
Yeah,
post?
it's in the AMA playlist.
No, no. Is it on meetup.com?
No, because that
Okay,
was just an impromptu. So
okay,
no.
okay. You understand this, Simon? I bet you do. Don't be like, who was that guy? What guy I was looking at? Oh yeah, me and D was looking at the guy. It was here in Tampa. He met a young lady online, I guess. Went and met out with her, and she drugged him. They went well. She went back to his hotel,
Oh, that was in Fort Lauderdale.
his condo. He didn't want to be seen on camera because I guess she probably was an Instagram model, and he looked like he
He
about
met this
40.
lady at the bar.
He looked like he about 46. She looked like she was about 26. He was like, all I remember was I poured her a drink and 15, and we talked for about 15, 20 minutes. And I woke up the next morning at 9 a.m. and everything was stolen from me. I'm embarrassed. People need to look out for her, blah, 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 blah. So, hey, y'all older cats, y'all like the young hottie tenders. Young hottie, these baddies.
Robbed him blind. Robbed him blind. He was mad. Didn't have a Rolex. Just robbed him blind.
Yeah, you can add a design safety protection in there. Yep, we could do that. I had to think on what that would look like though, because in Florida, if you have a kid 12 and under that goes outside near a pool or whatnot,
You have to have a
or
screen.
you have to have the screen up, and there's poles, and the screen is big. What would be
But
cool?
the filtration system is away from the actual pool, and sometimes
Mhm.
you have a box around it, or sometimes it's open. It just, I guess it depends. But I don't like all those other attachments. But that's something to expound on.
Yep. Yep, the adrenal board, right? Yeah, he got.
Oh, he did, and he was
He was hot.
hot. He was hot. When you call the news on your caper, it was a mess. Like he was so mad he called the news on himself. And it was just like,
He's like, "Don't put me on camera. Don't put me on camera."
but they didn't have his head on camera. They had him from there and they was in front of his building. They had the lady on video.
It's
And
all
what's so
in the
crazy
video.
is my male friends, I tell them all the time, and it's just like, you have to look out for your safety as well. Why, like you can go rent a hotel room if you feel like you have that urge, but why bring somebody to your home? Like, do you think that like that you're safe? Like, you're not safe. You're not safe at all. You have to be Men have to be careful as well. It's not about physical strength because she slipped him something and he was out.
They got several cases in Miami that I see right here. Hold on, let me pull my screen up. With several cases in Miami. I keep running down to Miami. Look, this is 2 months ago. Woman facing felony charges for allegedly drugging and robbing tourists in Miami Beach. Here's the one where the man said he was drugged. He was
Oh, that's
drugged.
the lady.
Yeah, right there. Um, Another one here in Miami, arrest for after men were drugged and price of watches was stolen. Like here's another one. Y'all keep running to Miami looking for the baddies. I'm just showing you. Two men drugged and raped women who later died in Miami. That was 8 months ago. Keep running down to Miami. Keep running. Just try to just forewarning you. We going to Miami. Like we going to
Miami is
Miami.
dangerous. Miami Beach is dangerous. Like, people are predators.
I mean, you can go to Miami and check out stuff, but just don't put your drink down.
Ain't
Ain't
nothing
nothing
wrong.
wrong.
I'm a baddie myself, so I can't hate on the culture.
Would you say? Would you say?
Just
Deep?
can't
I'm
hate the
hold up,
player,
hold up.
hate the
I'm a
game.
betty myself. I'm a I'm a betty myself.
So it ain't, you can't hate it, but you just have to, put your disclaimer out there. Be careful when you're going out there, trying to get something scratched.
What'd you say? Did you what? What'd you say? You're a baddie. You
What?
better check. You better check. You better check it. Better
But
check your. All right. As you can see, we like to have fun. All right, we do have an agenda actually. All right, so we
well, you were
women.
saying donate.
You are Women in Linux. If you want to find us, you find us on social media at Women in Linux. You find us on meetup.com at women/Women in Linux, YouTube, Women in Linux. And also Binary Hustlers. D dropped the link for Binary Hustlers. We need to get those subscriptions up. I'm echoing on your end. I can hear it. We need to get the subscriptions up as well too. Over there, we are gonna do a show. I'm echoing on your end, D. We are gonna do a show. I don't know. D, when we're gonna do a show tomorrow, tonight? No, no response from you, D.
Um, I mean, you told me to do one thing. I have no idea. I know I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to study, but
Okay,
I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that right now. There's a little things I want to do for the channel first, but it will be soon.
okay, all
It
right.
will be sooner than later.
Next, if you want to connect with us, still echoing D. If you want to connect with us, you connect here on. You hit connect and then come here. Put your email address in. That leads you to joining our Slack group with the Slack app. And you would need the Slack app. There is a desktop feature, there is a phone, and then there is a web browser. You can just open up Slack in the web browser. I choose the web browser because Slack is resource heavy on your desktop, so I go through the web browser.
And if
And
you're
some
using Slack on your mobile device, i.e., your cell phone, um, you're not getting the benefits out of Slack. We
what
have so much more than what the cell phone you offers.
right. And last but not least, if well, not last but not least, but if you want to shop with us, you can shop by hitting the shop button. Hit all products. You will see all the products, and you can go from there. And if you want to donate, Dee's already dropped it. But if you want to donate, you can donate with your time. You can donate with money. You can donate by doing a show. You can donate by coming on and doing a meetup or doing a lightning talk or what have you. We're pretty flexible. to get your name, help you get your name out there, and so forth. No need to try to do something on your own when you are offering you a platform to do it on. Um, shit, right? It says, question: do you know what is the underlying infrastructure for blockchain technology? When you say underlying infrastructure, it really goes under to what you're asking is what cloud, what are they using? Basically, primarily it's DevSecOps. There would be your AWS, GCP, what have you. Pick a crypto currency that they're using, like Solidity, and Rust. So that falls on the Ethereum, which we talked about, and then again how to deploy those decentralized apps. So that's why I say it's the sweet DevSecOps is the sweet spot to go in any direction you want to go in. If you want to go work in insurance, if you want to go work in healthcare, if you want to go work on uh, AI and machine learning, which is what I do. If it's the gateway to go anywhere you want to go. All right, cool. All right, let's get cracking. Give you something that you didn't know, right? What people are talking about. Here's what
What
they're
are the
talking about.
people talking about?
Here's what they're talking about. Rooftops for rent.
We love a
Prop-
good rooftop.
no, this is different though. So rooftops for rent, property owners should partner with 5G carriers. There's been a push to expand 5G where you can rent out your roof to have an antenna put on there. Now, there's other things that to think about with that security wise. But it says the race to deploy 5G has unlocked a new use for rooftops of restaurants, hotels, residential buildings, and even hospitals and churches. These rooftops are quickly becoming prime real estate targets for telecommunication led leaders eager to establish 5G technology, right? So you may own a warehouse or you may have some empty land or something like that. Maybe put something out there and go from there. The Biden administration the Biden administration has made expanding the 5G infrastructure a national priority. So again, if you own a building out there, this could be a way to get something done, some money income brought in. Despite its speed and power relative to other wireless technologies, 5G has a much shorter range, so only reaching about 1,500 feet. Right. So they're written out rooftops. Together, these comes forecasted, blah, 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 woo, 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 woo. Okay, so in many communities, there's a strong opposition to building new towers, and moreover, the construction, zoning, and permitting process can be time consuming. However, 5G technology is uniquely suited to deployment on existing building rooftops because of the reduced antenna heights for the next generation wireless. Now, major institutional commercial real estate owners are better positioned than tower operators for carriers to achieve a faster, more efficient solution. A rooftop deployment strategy presents a solution that is mutually beneficial to the 5G carrier and the property owner. Sounds like commercial real estate to me. Here's the money maker. The impact of the net operating income for the real estate owner and the revenue generated over the terms of a potentially 30-year lease can be substantial, increasing their access to capital. I'm gonna read that again. The impact of net operating income for real estate owners and the revenue generated over the terms of a potentially 30-year lease can be substantial. 30 years. All right. So it says, what's at stake for 5G deployment? Certainly 5G is faster, connected, blah, 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 driving innovation, services for autonomous cars, vehicles, and so forth. Um, Talk more about the Biden, um, the risk, and then they talk about. We've also seen the creation of organizations such as building cybersecurity to help improve the guidance and the framework to improve. cyber resiliency in the real estate sector, right? So here's another angle. For property owners to effectively monetize their rooftops and participate in the race to 5G, the government and private industry must continue to collaboratively work together collaboratively on an expeditious deployment of 5G infrastructure, right? And so they go on, but I just wanted to point that out when we're talking about this race to 5G, what that looks like for you to have that property out there and get a lease for 30 years, right? Even if
You
it's just
remember that property that we were looking at that had that tower on it, and in the contract they wanted us to kind of write in an easement so that they had access to this tower. Like if you're gonna sell the land, sell the whole land. But that's how you knew that tower was lucrative for them because they tried to carve out the little piece where they can get back and
it ended
forth.
up getting sold. It ended up getting sold. It was 250,000. I was gonna buy it. You could put 16, I think it was 16 or 32 um condos or houses on this. It was
It was a
commercial
townhouse. They had plotted them out for townhomes in that
townhomes.
particular area.
Yep. And it's a little further out. Um, it was getting in construction. I mean, I was gonna buy it, and then I was like, the tower. And I think this was at the time Corona Cor- was starting. The
Who?
sea was starting. The
Oh,
sea can't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think it was around that time. Uh, yeah. Yeah, it still needs public cloud infrastructure or private cloud, hybrid cloud, if you want to look at it that way. It still needs cloud infrastructure. Yep. That's underneath. That's not going to go anywhere. Not going to go anywhere. Bare metal machines and deployments and applications is not going to go anywhere. Still going to need that. That is the cloud. What it is. That is the cloud. Right. At this lowest level. So yeah. So let me know what your thoughts are on the 30-year plan for commercial, and it could be like they say apartments and hotels. Like you probably could even do like a hotel situation, and you throw like and make double money off the hotel property, right? When you're looking at that, so just throwing that out there. All right, so let's come here. Let's go over to what I like to talk about. TikTok is launching a delivery only restaurants across the US. Did y'all see that? It's coming in March. TikTok Kitchen. TikTok is preparing to launch a new service that will turn its viral food videos into meals you can actually enjoy. The social app is partnering with virtual dining concepts and Grubhub to launch TikTok Kitchen, branded delivery only restaurants across the US. Right? It plans on opening up TikTok plans to launch around 300 locations. So that means they already got real estate. Yep, Ghost Kitchens. That will start delivering dishes in March.
I mean,
The
you can
plan,
set yourself up in a commercial kitchen with that type of stuff if you're just doing delivery only.
yep. And so the dishes in March with plans to open more than 1,000 restaurants by the end of next year. Right. The initial menu will include TikTok viral dishes like baked feta pasta, a smash burger, corn ribs, and pasta chips. The baked feta, in particular, gained incredible traction in 2021. As Google reported, it is the most searched dish of the year after it gained in mixed popularity with TikTok. And they go on to say TikTok confirmed to TechCrunch that creators will be receiving credit for their dishes with the menu and will be featured prominently throughout the partnership. All right. So drop your thoughts in the comment section about what you're thinking about these things that are coming up Virtual Dining Concepts was founded in 2018, runs several delivery ghost restaurants, and has partnered with notable individuals, including YouTube celebrity Mr. Beast, who runs his virtual restaurant, who runs his own virtual restaurant, Mr. Beast Burger, Guy Fieri, Steve Harvey, Mariah Carey, Tyga, and others. The company also has a partnership with Barstool Sports. In October, Virtual Dining Concepts raised 20 million in the Series A, 20 million in the Series A, saying it planned to use the investment to fund additional technology, enhance corporate infrastructure, and provide additional marketing and customer support. This reminds me of that of getting images going public. Um, I also see some possibly some spin-off of small little videos, maybe some NFTs, maybe something in the metaverse as well too. TikTok is widely known for its popular food trends and so forth. But again, TikTok is launching delivery only restaurants across the U.S. in March. Let me look up. Let me see. TikTok um, restaurants, and then let me look up investors. And the reason why I just want to see if they got a listing of cities. That's what I'm looking for. Right. Let me look and see if anybody got some cities. Look like the articles are all the same. Oh no, I have to do some dive. I wonder if they got it on their website possibly. I was curious as the 300 locations where they will put them at. That's interesting. Thoughts so far? What do you think, D?
That's definitely going to be interesting, because everybody's palates are a little different. Some of that stuff on TikTok looks really good, but it's just like I think you're missing some steps for people that really really cook. Like some of the skillet suppers, I'm like, but for me, I see it as just another avenue for exposure for celebrity chefs. Somebody to see what they're doing in the kitchen, and some influencer stuff to offer it
Mm-hmm.
for a limited time if you
Mm-hmm.
order, and for people that don't cook, and to take some of these meals that are on TikTok, because you're always interested. Like, oh, that garlic bread with the cheese is looking tasty. Like, but who's gonna make that?
Oh,
So I
my bad.
definitely see that making a lot of money, especially
So,
for people, munchies, that 420 realm where you have a little munchies, and it depends on how long they deliver, because a lot of the times, like if we're working late, we might be a little hungry, and all the the restaurants have closed down. But if you're running a ghost kitchen, or working out of a commercial kitchen somewhere, you don't see the public. So, your staffing and how you deliver the food
yeah, so I
you can
went
make a
to
lot of money.
virtual dining concepts, and here's the one with TikTok. Here's the Barstool Bites that they mentioned in the NASCAR refuel. Now, let's tie this back in with the NASCAR refuel. Um, I'm curious. So D, I don't know if you remember this. And Kiana, what's going on? I see you in the comments. Just Jay, thank you for joining. I'm gonna get to y'all comments in a minute. Okay, so there's this concept. I don't, and I showed this earlier this year. Now you remember this concept, D. The concept was, and it's happening here in Tampa, where they're building condos, but they're also building racetracks around these condos. So for those that are like to take their exotic cars or their race cars to a track, they're building condos, and then you live off the racetrack as well too. It's like it, and they built this. I showed it. Or I have to go. I don't remember which episode it was where it's exclusive, where it's like the long road, the long drive down. You
Yeah,
can have
you
fine
showed it to
dining.
me. It was nice. It was kind of like a theme subdivision community.
Right.
And you can the houses were made where they were like the garages were really huge. They were basically like instead of having like a membership to a golf course and being a golf club member, it was like this what this community was. It was basically centered around racing enthusiasts.
I can't even think of how to remember how to look that up again. Um,
I look up race car community because I mean the
uh,
homes were amazing, and it was for men. It was for men. We didn't see any women in the community, but they had the grill area, the back of the homes faced the entertainment areas. They face the racetrack, these garages. You can park your RV, or you can showcase your cars. They and every house was so unique in the
mhm.
inside, but it was basically kind of like the same concept. But and people, they go just like they're going hunting. Like we're just gonna go for a couple of months and stay here during racing season.
Now the reason why I brought this up is because the NASCAR thing triggered this when I saw it for the virtual food and so forth, or virtual delivery or whatnot, a virtual kitchen, I should say. So then I got into that. I got into that from I brought into that from here. So the one that I was talking about in Tampa is called the Motor Enclave, and there's I-75 and I-4. It's off of 75 here, Tampa Executive Airport. 200 acres. And then they go a little bit more into here's the track, and I think these are the places where you live at on the track. And these are popping up across the U.S. For now. Another thing I had thought about too, what I haven't seen is one another big thing is car storage. Um, that's super huge. Because and this is what it looked like on the inside. This is why people would buy it that are car enthusiasts. It's because we we have a need to put a car somewhere, and so finding storage for your car is super important, right? Because some of these cars appreciate over time; they don't depreciate. So here, this is an Enclave will offer 300 luxury garages that can be customized, built out, and designed to your heart's desire. A typical garage holds 2 to 6 cars. I looked at car storage. Car storage averages around about 250 to 300. But here's the problem. This is what I was talking about with D. It depends on the car storage because not all car storages are created equal.
Right.
Uh, because now you got temperature that you have to work with, the dust, the collection, keeping it clean. So I looked at this guy. He's in LA, I believe, and he made a he just built out a car storage facility in LA, right across from the Clippers space, or wherever the Clippers train at. That's what it is, where they train at. And hit the way it is stackable up to 3 stories. And it's climate controlled, and it's one of the first ones in LA. It's something unique about it. I have to go back and look at the video.
And didn't they offer maintenance for like a maintenance plan for the cars where they
Well,
wipe them down, they start them up?
that's the one in Europe. That's the one overseas in
Now,
Europe.
my thing is, you can start it up, but you also have to drive it a little bit. But if you have like a really expensive car and you don't want to put any mileage on that, I wonder if they like have some where they just kind of roll the tires or something.
Yeah,
But
so the one that's in Europe, they clean them. They also keep the battery tested and so forth. They do all the detail, the whole nine. Um, God, I would wonder what their insurance is like for somebody that's got an exotic car. Like,
I know, I mean, your fluids and stuff like that. Because
the
I know for my
yeah, the what? Yeah,
motorcycle,
they
I
get.
would
They, I
go,
think they get rid of the gas too. Like,
yeah, because
there's
I would put
gas in the fluids
a
and
trickle
all.
charger on my motorcycle, and so that when when I got on it, it would start up if it wasn't riding season or something like that. But I definitely didn't want to keep too many fluids in there because you definitely have to get them changed out. But I think something like that, it could go from a minimum package to something like really really luxury.
Right. And so this one right here, it says 2 to 6 cars, ranges from 600 to 3,600 square feet. All units are part of the community, include membership, which provide a host of services, include a private gated entrance with 24 by 7. So exotic cars, blah 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 blah. Right. This is the garages are going fast. I knew this would sell out. 2021, we already pre-sold 130 garages, private garages. I could see that. A typical garage is priced at 200,000, and is purchased as equity investment rather than lease or rent it. The garage may offer several financial benefits, including tax deduction and equity appreciations. That's why I like this um, standpoint for this, because now we're looking at a tax deduction and so forth. So I'm investing, I'm getting a return on this as well, and I'm keeping my cars clean and stuff and so forth. Yep.
Oh yeah, that was one of the features is that when you go in the house, how quiet it was, but when you
Yep.
go out, you just hear all the racing going on. So it was
Yep.
super cool.
Yep, the event center includes a full service kitchen, upscale dining, and top notch culinary chefs. So you can set an appointment after you get off the track or whatnot. Your wives or your lady friend or whatever, or whoever's your guest or whatnot, can be getting ready, and then y'all roll over to dinner after
It's like a
person's
man
been
cave on steroids.
been
Like,
around the track, so forth and so on. It's also it's an event center. You can host 500 people, so you can have your car. Hey, we're gonna have our cars come up here, and we're gonna invite 500 people for our exotic car show. This, that, and other. So, I actually was in talking to some of the guys here to do our own Women in Linux car show. um we got a lot of car enthusiasts here in Florida. I looked at purchasing a warehouse because I want to use the parking lot for the warehouse, and then we also needed it for distribution for some pallets as well too. So it's like killing two birds with one stone. And then having the ability to do the shows. The guy that I was working with, and still will do it, we still may do it. Um, he already does shows, and he has a couple of other buddies that does shows as well too. Uh, putting these events together like that can be super huge, and we're talking about
like you
his
have a
show.
lot of cars and coffee.
Yeah, his
If you guys are
show.
familiar with that concept, I know Jerry Steinfeld does something, but here it may be hosted at a dealership, and everybody comes out. You put your
Yeah,
cars in the different areas, and they serve really really mediocre coffee, but it is always packed, and you have to get there early.
yeah. So, cars and coffee, Tampa, cars and coffee. Right. There's different ones like here, Rides and Coffee, 9 a.m. That's on December 25th. That's up on Fowler.
We
But
have the
you,
Festival of Speed here that is really awesome as well. That they have a car show out on the water, and they may have like 4 or 5 of them throughout Florida. So they may have it from south all the way up to North Florida.
yeah, so you may get around about anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 people at an event. Um, that's just the cars. That's not even the other people that may come with them, right? So something like a delivery service for food trucks, even a virtual kitchen or something like that, that that you partner with. uh so that's what I'm looking at and thinking. So that's where I'm at. Let me get to some of these comments as well too. Let me go back up. Kiana, you still here?
Huh?
I was
Kiana?
talking about Kiana. Yeah, she's still here. Yeah. Q4. I hope you can see the articles now. I blew it up some so you can see, right? And you see how this is what one of them looks like, right? 60 acres. I'm gonna give them a call. Let's go get one. D Airbnb it out. All right.
I think it was
So
a stipulation in one of those. I think the one that we were looking at, it was one of those where it was private, where you couldn't rent them out. I mean, you can have guests, but it wasn't something where you get an influx of looky loos. It kept the exclusivity of the community.
invest. We can invest and currently accepting investments. Fund size 33 million. Minimum investment 1 million.
And this is locally, right?
Yeah, this local. Boom. All right. So then what's the comments? Let's
Oh, Kiana
say
says she's still here.
okay, cool. A growing portion of restaurants, all the platforms. Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah,
Oh
they
yeah,
have
I saw you said you
a
invested
lot
too.
of restaurants on Uber Eats. I've noticed that offer like desserts, like pints of desserts. I would look up the restaurant and I'm like, I've never been there before, and I that's a good hustle. Just
Yep.
place yourself on Uber Eats and just sell your little wares. If you could sell cupcakes and stuff like that, sell your cupcakes or pies and cookies, and if you sell tacos, do a little taco stuff.
Just Jay, what's going on? How you doing? Where do you get started with Linux? Here, let me walk you through where you get started with us. If you go to womeninlinux.org and you hit the connect button here, jump in our Slack, and everything you need is there. And then I can walk you through better there. As far as like getting started, pathways, and so forth and so on. We also have one-on-ones. I never mentioned that, do I? I didn't mention it the last show. One-on-ones if you need to sign up for a one-on-one and get a little bit more detail as well too. Um, our meetups on Wednesdays on meetup.com is really a little bit more Linux focused. This is more like information centered around Linux and what's going on in the world. But these are things I just found interesting and wanted to share about what's going on. So that's where that would be at. See what's going on, Jimmy. A Jim Nail one. I don't know why I called you Jimmy. It sounds like Corona vending machines, but different usage. L Campbell, what's going on? How you doing? Yep, yep. Engineer cannabis. That might be swimming pools. Yep, you can rent your swimming pools out. But what we were talking about, Kiana, earlier was how to automate the process of cleaning the pool. So um and centered around because engineering cannabis asked me about AI and blockchain. And that could be a blockchain play too, but okay, when you clean the pool, you gotta put in your you gotta get the water tested first. And then you gotta um once you get the water tested, then you gotta put in whatever mix of chemicals or whatnot, and then you got to clean your filter. But how to automate all those things, right?
Yeah.
Cleaning the filter, uh getting whatever little critters have gotten in there, and then once you do that, uh, how can you make sure that you get the right mix of everything that you need as far as the water being tested, automating the water test, automating, yeah, all the chlorine tests, all that stuff, having that stuff set up already and then test it. And so we were talking about what type of sensors you could use, and then do a collection of data on that, over 6 months or a year, so you could give the owner an aspect of what they need and what their pool costs would be in an automated fashion over a year. and it'll be depending on what type of pool as well too, and then automate that process, right? So if I needed to have, yep,
And
uh
what's so crazy, I'm sitting here thinking like there could be like two different types of pools because you can develop a smart pool that does this. And so everything that you need for this pool is installed when the house is being built. But also, people with existing pools, how does that work?
the infrastructure for that. And,
Because the proximity to the pool, to the filter, how the house is laid out, the types of filters that are already on there. I know it's going to be a lot of sensor technology when it comes to that. Different environments affect your pool differently. When it rains, if you have a covered pool, you got a screened in pool, just so many different
mhm.
things.
And the other thing that I was thinking about too was is you asking questions. So to me, it's like an automated thing, right? So maybe you get an autonomous car, and maybe that autonomous car delivers the products that that pool person would need because the pool sent the email to the pool location, and it may not even be a pool location. It may be something online or something like that. I don't know. Just thinking
Yeah.
out loud.
Or the person who delivers the chemicals will automatically like refill the chemical for you, so you don't
Yeah,
even have to go in there and put the stuff in the pool.
right.
I mean, in the system that manages the pool.
Possibly, and if they don't want that as a service, I mean, if they don't want that particular part, that could be a la carte. um and 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 then the other piece is, when of course you're doing the AI and machine learning around that, you can kind of tell people like, hey, during this time of the year your pool will be affected by these things and rainstorms, so that now you're pulling in satellite, well, weather information. So now here's how to better take care of your pool, and here's the things to look out for. And oh, we have somebody that come out and can fill the cracks. We noticed that your pool level is this when it should be this. You need
Right.
to refill your pool, this, that, and that. So just all inclusive service around the pool, selling that as well to even to um, like you were saying, like the hotels, even a vertical of that is taking that information, and now you can analyze like, well, what's a better pool, because you have this data now about all these different pools. You can make a better pool situation and
Yeah,
whatnot.
even for pool cleaning companies, some type of device that does an automated testing because you might not, people have a pool companies have a pool route and they go by every week. But just to think, if someone is a vacant property or a rental property and they don't have to go by as often, or here we got a lot of out of towners, snowbirds that have second homes here, and they literally go empty, but they're still the home is still serviced in some type of way. So
Mhm.
that'd be definitely cost saving for pool cleaning companies.
Yeah, and then the other piece is the to speed the to where you gain value is the person that's on that pool route now doesn't have to have as much to carry on their pool route, even if you did keep a pool route. Only thing they would do is to come to do a double verification check, maybe, that this information was sent out, these things are filled. I'm going to do a visual check, and now it just speeds up the pool route, and now they're just doing a double verification check from a human, and then checking in with the actual customer to give that human feel to that customer, to make sure that everything is being completed and done properly, and a visual check if they needed to. But you could probably install cameras and have a camera play for that if you needed to. Maybe like some type of camera on this on the pool cleaner that just goes around and just checks the pool. You could do that. You could add that. Then that's getting into devices that you got to create. I mean, I could go on all day about this, but these are just the idea that I had around automating the pool service. because we can never find a good person to do the work. So why
Or
not?
not, or that the it's a high turnover rate for the pool industry. So like if you looking in the backyard, you like, who is this person this
Right.
week? Like we've had some strange birds come through
Yep.
here,
So now you
and
add the added play for better security. We can now say, hey, you don't have to worry about that strange person coming in to do your pool. Is now added security feature for that, right? So that's just my thoughts around that and how that could look and how that ties in against pools, just not here in Florida but across the nation, how that works, especially when you start talking about you want everything automated and luxury designer homes and things that you want to have. You can that's how I looked at that. um but that's my idea, so you all just let me know if I'm crazy on that. But
well, you crazy,
that's
but I don't think the idea is crazy. I like it.
all right. So let me get back to the comments. Thanks Q4. I hope it does take off. SaaS platform for small business who do cleaning. Yeah. It could be a B2B play. It could be either or. Um, it could make them more profitable and upsell the clients. Again, I think adding in that feature on, the human touch to come out and check to see what's been done, is like a white glove treatment type of thing. Hey, well, hey, I know we have this automated process, but I want to come in, I want to show my face with who we are, put a face to the company, what we do. Maybe there's something else we can offer you that you might not have known that we do, that you may need. We're just here to give you our white glove services as a complimentary feature, blah 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 blah, so forth and so on. And you can do that for like a 30-day trial or something like that, and then go away. And then they were like, "Oh no, look, go ahead and sign me back up for that." I like that feature. Still like that human touch, right? Yep, get the likes up. L Campbell, you said you're doing great. You're working on learning about the shell, navigating tutorial easy to navigate. Yep, yep, yep. It is. I agree with that. I'm glad you sold on the idea. Engineering cannabis, you said algorithm will take the temperature from the weather service and also use the level gauge. If it falls down, yeah, a certain level refills. And that's the other thing. Now thinking about it is, how do you automatically refill the pool? Um, um, Adding that in, because again, that water has to come out of something, right? So I guess you can have in ground come up from the water from the ground up into a some type of container that may filter the water or something like that, and then shoot that back into the pool, something like that. um did Michelle send out a meeting invite? I got a meeting invite. I'll send it out. um yeah, I guess so. It wouldn't be nothing to adapt to fish tanks. How about embedding those sensors and cameras on the existing device? Yeah, I was thinking about that too. You're almost done, but let's get on the phone and talk about it. Because I think we could put something together, um, and come up with at least something for yeah, my own. We can do that on my own pool. I don't mind that, and see how that works out. I'll start there, all right? And we can go from there. All right. So let's get back to it. All right, we talked about the TikTok. We talked about um TikTok. What else? We talked about the pool. Oh, and we talked about the Enclave. All right, so now um there is this. It's still centered around cars. It's not the theme of the day, but the electric car generation is a podcast about transformative power of electrification. But really, what they're getting into here, and let me bring this back down for my own edification, is one of the things that came up out of this podcast, and Dee could post this. One of the things that came up was about electric car racing. So being able to there's already the electric car racing on, the Tesla versus the Bugatti or whatnot, right? But now we're getting into electric car racing on the tracks. What is that going to look like? I think that we talked about Harley Davidson earlier, when we talked about the electric motorcycles and how they're an IBM. And again, I always go back to that with them and IBM. That is a blockchain quantum play. If they're partnering with IBM, and again, we saw that the is it EQS or ESQ, uses IBM cloud to build better battery for battery life. So probably the same premise there. I wouldn't be surprised if Harley Davidson probably partnered with Mercedes to get their battery and have that battery used on Harley Davidson instead of recreating the wheel. They just partner and grab their battery, right, and go from there, right. So that's the other side of the map to think about. So same here, electric car racing around the tracks. So I want to how to me thinking about how to redesign tracks so that the car doesn't die while you're racing around the track. And doing that. But that just goes a little bit more into it. So NASCAR could change. This has a huge hold, but I always go back to my favorite uh, is the Robo Race, and I mentioned this yesterday at OctoML. Um, but if you haven't seen this, right here, this is AI right here. The hardware is managed centrally and the same for each team, meaning that, and let me blow that up so you can see that I'm reading. Hold on. The hardware is managed centrally and is the same for each team, meaning that the only differentiator is the AI driver software that the teams develop. So these cars are AI driven around the track. And this has been out since about 2016, 2017. They have a huge ton of funding behind this. You could go check this out on YouTube. But here's like I don't know if they let me see if they got a page.
What does the future look like? I have an idea, but I can tell you exactly what it sounds like. Is it going to work? We're about to find out. We're not trying to outcool them. We're trying to out-nerd everyone. Metaverse is a mixed reality racing format where you can play with data and give the right to place objects to our audience. So it's not just another motorsport thing, it's motorsport 2.0. This is either going to be a glimpse into the future or a spectacular failure. Either way, you're going to want to watch.
Yep. So with that being said, I don't see a Robo Race Black team. I've been wanting to put one together because we just don't have one. But with that being said, um, it is a design to the future of what racing could look like, and that's why I brought up the whole electric car racing situation and what that could potentially look like, right? Um, and that what that and this is autonomous. It's no driver, and it learns the track and it learns the turns and the speed, excuse me, keep calculation of what's around it and surroundings at all time. and going from there. Um, and they're actually there was a talk for team as well too, but you can check them out again on um on YouTube. uh what that looks like, especially when they start racing against humans, and they do it on a different track. Like, well, they do it on the same track. The human goes around the track first, and then they have to beat the time that that human set. And it's a race to beat that time. So um, again, here it is right here, designers. Right here, a robo race inside the circuit, robo race season beta, and then they go more into it. Right, you can see I'm subscribed and get the notification button. So I'm really watching this as it starts to take off, and then you already have the metaverse as well too. So what is this? How would this look like in the metaverse? How would you form teams, the skins, the whole thing, right? And the broadcasting, like step outside of that. What is the broadcasting for this looks like? How do you interview teams? How do you come up and describe to the audience the solution that they design? How technical do you get? How technical do you not get? And then it's taken in even one step further, is how do you train up people coming out of college, or who are in the who already work in the area, or was it surrounding in tech, to come out and do this? How much data are we collecting? How much data are we translating? Um, I could go on. It's just a very unique field that I think is going to continue to get to take off. And we're just not going to. We may see it and we may not see it, but I can see that really taking off, especially when we start talking about quantum computing, electric cars, and batteries, and traveling and so forth. Right. And let me know your thoughts in the comments as well too. Right. Let's go on to my next one. All right, that was the 5G. We talked about that. No. Oh yeah. Switching gears. All right. This right here was Microsoft says it's met its goals for investment in black owned businesses. Said it met its goal, whatever that goal was, right? It gave a progress report and said Microsoft reported some of what it expected to take years that has been done in 18 months. The company committed 100 million to black owned businesses, black owned and mission driven banks, sorry, which turn provide grassroots capital for diverse local communities. I don't know. We talked about this last night. Are you a diversity hire? How would you know what's going on with that? A lot of stuff came up about that. Um,
Microsoft is like, get off our backs.
is
We'll
also
put our little money in the pot and don't ask us for nothing else no time soon. We'll call you when we're ready.
okay, and it also met a 50 million investment goal to improve access to capital for black owned small businesses, and doubled the percentage of transaction it conducts with black owned financial institutions. Microsoft said it has increased the number of black owned suppliers in its supply chain by 300%. As we move forward, we will continue to challenge our teams to apply a growth mindset and just the right amount of tenacity and relentlessness in seeking bold solutions to address racial inequality and injustice. Amy Hood said, CFO, and it goes on and on and on and on. I know a
Can you
few
scroll back
recipients.
up to the title?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's met its goal for black owned businesses. And then, last night we were talking about, when you hear diversity and inclusion, how everybody automatically assumes it's for black people. I would have liked to know in this article what had it done for other ethnicities as far as meeting the goal instead of singling just one group of people out.
I think that was what that mission was, but I'm not sure. I think it was just an exclusive mission, but I'm not sure. But they probably have another initiative on for others, and I'm using others loosely. Let me see. Oh, all right. There's a new app coming out for Gen Z. TikTok is over, they say. Backed by former Facebook and Twitter execs, Tag launches social branding app for Gen Z. Gen Z isn't satisfied with social media they grew up with, so they're building the apps that they want to use a social branding app for creative teens and 20 somethings. Tag is announcing a 2 million seed round today from Twitter co-founder Biz Stone, Facebook's former VP of International Growth, Ed Baker, and TripAdvisor founder Stephen Kaufer, Pillar VC, and more. Found by recent alumni of Brown University and neighboring Rhode Island School of Design, Tag is still in private beta with thousands of users and thousands more on the wait list. It's like a link bio service, but with a social element that encourages young creators to connect, collaborate, and develop friendships. In the digital world, I guess they're connecting over digital and what they have. We do not have likes, just comments, sharing, and views. Just because we want our creatives on focused on being their favorite selves, with no stigma. No co-founder Victor Low, I guess Lulo or Lulo, told TechCrunch, I guess exclusively, especially among Gen Z audience, the tag is built for. Users don't always want like counts since they know it can encourage them to compare themselves to peers. Don't you compare yourself automatically just, just by sheer nature? I think you do, right? And this is what it looks like. No likes, you just view and talk. What would be the difference with this and OnlyFans? I guess because OnlyFans has a negative connotation.
Does it?
Anybody say I'm on OnlyFans, you'd be like, "Oh, really?"
You said
Right?
you got an OnlyFans?
Do you say do I have an OnlyFans?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I signed up. I got an OnlyFans.
What's on your OnlyFans?
Not a damn thing.
Oh, I think you should. I think you should tinker with your tech toys on OnlyFans.
Nothing on there. I logged into OnlyFans because I was like, do people actually be on here doing this stuff? And when I logged on, all I saw was people like, hey, today is yoga. Hey, I'm gonna make tacos today. So what it says is you have to exclusively go seek the content that you want. So those that are talking about what's on OnlyFans when it sought that content, it's not the only thing that's on there. That's what I saw.
Yeah,
So
I
this was
always
not
thought that OnlyFans were for it was for exclusive content. So if you are a chef and you have special recipes that you want to invite people to see, then they can come and get your OnlyFans subscription. Like I said, if you're a tech person and you want to tinker with your tech toys and you got a lot of stuff around the house, you know, talking about that type of stuff. And I mean, if you're a stripper, you can show your wares. It's
false
for your
gold.
fans, your fan base. So I think it came a little convoluted over time.
Tracy LA say taught you in the call. Formula E car racing. Yep. I know, right? We should patent it, right? Um, so this is a grown up version of remote control cars that ruled the summer streets once upon a time. Yeah, pretty much, right? Take what you thought that you was what you could have did, like the box truck. That's what the G wagon looked like when you used to draw a car. You box and that's
Little
what the
milk
G
truck.
wagon. Yeah, that's what the G wagon looks like. But yeah, oh D, don't forget to drop the link in case anybody want to come up. You're more than welcome to come up and join the panel and discuss. Let me go back to my notes to bring out other things that I wanted to discuss. I did not discuss this on the show on Tech Stocks and Jobs. I am going to drop this here. SysDig hits 2.5 billion dollar valuation as cloud and container security continues to bring the heat. This was announced December the 15th of 2021. And they have not gone public yet, right? News about Six did raising a large round of money and hitting a big valuation may sound familiar. It was just in late April that the company announced $188 million in Series F for a $1.19 billion valuation. They are prepping to go IPO again. This comes back full circle around DevSecOps or DevOps. As you saw, HashiCorp went public last week. HCP is the ticker symbol. But you're gonna see more and more DevSecOps companies go public. I I don't know how to reiterate that. Just that little sector of tech is super huge across so many platforms that it's just never going anywhere. It's DevSecOps, SRE, cloud security. That is just gonna you're just gonna be employed for the next 10 years. It even gets into blockchain, right? There, it's just what it is. All right, so Orca Security landed a $210 million. This is back in March, Series C, for a 1.2 valuation. Laceworks 525 million round for a $1 billion evaluation. And this article here is all centered around cyber and cyber from a DevSecOps perspective and DevOps perspective, right? And that's what this is talking about. Like I said, you're gonna start to see more and more of these companies go public. All right. And I talked about this CrowdStrike, Sentinel One. We talked about malware bytes earlier. Um, malware bytes and not know before, but what was the company earlier? It one just malware bytes. Oh, RellaQuest was the other one, right? And so D can drop this link so you can look at them and be just keep these companies on your list on your sites. Earlier I talked about low code, no code. So remember Symbiotic, and we were talking about how Walmart was buying that company. I have to go back to my notes because I think it was for 30 billion. So this article here talks about how automation and no code platforms can help solve recruitment bias. So again, it gets back into that diversity talk that we were talking about. Um, eliminating that bias, I guess at a recruiter level. And this is actually recruiters is actually on the list for job elimination. Let me look and see if I can find that. Um, uh, let me look. Uh, I think that was on the list for job elimination. And that was a prediction that job recruiters would be eliminated. Um, I think it was, I don't know, 2030 or something like that. But anyway, here's the article. Recruiters are often hold unconscious biases that prevent otherwise ideal candidates from being hired despite their best intentions. Best intentions. When white workers occupy 85% of the executive roles, it is clear it's a diversity problem at hand. Um, it's not just a race that presents a gap in the workplace. Equality regarding starting salaries and job opportunities. Women and LGBTQ groups also lack representation and face biases from recruiters. with 46% of LGBTQ workers reporting facing discrimination in the workplace due to their gender identity. Right, so they go on to talk about using tech to change the hiring culture, and they go on to how that will work, how tech enabled diversity inclusion and so forth. Dee can drop this article to you if you want to read into it more. But when I talk about no code, low code, taking business processes and automating them, and what does that look like? Again, um, that factors into AI. Now you have to start worrying about if somebody's name means something and what is the algorithm thinks it means and so forth. So those are little things that you have to be conscious and aware of. Let's see. Headline: Facebook purchases tag 4.5 billion July. Yep, 2022. That I see it. Yep. Yeah. D,
Yes,
how are
ma'am.
you? What do you think about today's information?
Well, today's information is always great information. This last article, it has to, it rolls over to the conversation that we were having last night about bias. But when you're in the field, it also lends to that recruiter not knowing the tech. I mean, we've had plenty of conversations with managers that thought people were coming on board and they didn't get hired, and they had to go back to the recruiter and ask them why, because their criteria for hiring a candidate and the recruiter's requirement were two totally different things. So this great talent is being lost, is falling through the cracks because of that disconnect.
And if y'all didn't catch the show last night, I advise you to go back and watch it. Of course, you could skip through it. I think it was 4 hours on that show, or 3 hours. Yeah, 4 hours on that show. But however, that um, in that show we talked about you know, well, let me back up. One of the reasons why I made the show, we did the show last night because I was on another show, and one of the things that the guy brought up was that it you don't want to be a diversity hire, and a lot of things came to mind to me. For me, was like, first off, how would you know? Second off, why would you care if you were a diversity hire? In your goal to get in there and make as much money as you can and get trained up so you could go do whatever you want to, right? So that's my thought process on that. And I went a little bit more in detail. I showed the video and so forth and so on. So I just wanted to make sure, that when someone, and we, and D and I talked about this, when we hear diversity, it, I don't, let's say just the word diversity. I don't know why it's synonymous with just being black, right? Right? And why do we assume that it's, and then the other assumption is a negative connotation around it. So it's like a double strike, right? You're like, oh, you're a diversity hire, okay, beat it. And
Right.
I posted this question before, and some people like, well, it depends on how the people treat me. I'm like, well, what if they still treat you like crap and you won the diversity hire? They're just crappy people.
Like, and then also it's just like, do you think the business is, I'm just here because I know nothing, like they just picked me up randomly off the street and I applied and I know nothing? And so how those biases are, mentally effing with you throughout the day, because what if your colleague was like, well, you're a diversity hire, like, you don't know my story, you don't know the work I put in, like they just hired me because of my color, like I have no merits at all, like I didn't go to school, I'm not, I'm not proven in any way. No, back up.
Right, right.
Back up off me. Like that conversation, and it goes, it lends to a deeper conversation, because that's what a lot of especially women in tech are up against, when you are the only on a group, and for
Mhm.
someone to automatically think that you're a diversity hire when your resume spans, like your resume gets you through the door, diversity hire, based on that definition, said it's merit based, then they look at the other things. And for me, like I said, it's just another way to basically cherry pick candidates. If you have like this pool and everybody's on an even playing field, like what are these other things that we have to check off on these boxes? And you know, if we can get through the door and you get through, how do you know? How do you know? Like, did they send out a memo? Is How do you know you're a diversity hire? Everybody
Mm-hmm.
is diverse. We're all diverse in our own ways, and that lends to the conversation when it comes to innovation. Everybody's diverse. We have a different perspective. We can all share the same ethnicity, but have a different perspective on everything. So it's just it's sad that the word has gotten muddied by everybody's own agenda. But
Right. And I also posted this. I don't know if y'all caught this. Here. Um, leaked Microsoft paid data shows how much hundreds of software engineers report making in units like Azure Office, and Windows. The median pay package is 185,000, but that's not what I wanted to really show you. Um, Let me drop down here, right here. It says, and I posted this. With that said, the spreadsheet indicates the base annual pay is hot. Uh, in hot lines of business like Azure can be as high as 500,000, with some receiving stock awards in the same amount, plus cash bonuses that the spreadsheet suggests to go as high as 45,000. It also indicates that the total compensation figures can vary across the company, with the median reported salaries in the spreadsheet totaling around 220 in teams like Office, and closer to 170,000 and more with the Xbox unit. All right, so um, like I said before, pick a cloud. I don't care which cloud you pick and go with, just pick one. Um, and I
pick
can
a
see,
cloud, any cloud.
yeah, I can see how Azure can go up to 500,000 as a base. Um, in the same way with GCP as well too. Um, Again, people always say go with what has the biggest market share, and AWS has the biggest market share. But what you're essentially saying is more people have those certification, which drives down the can drive down your pay, whereas not a lot of people may have Azure and GCP and Oracle, which drives up the pay. So be a big fish in a small pond. So that's why I lean towards GCP, because I think it's just easier to learn. I also think GCP is ahead of the game when it comes to GPUs, data, and AI. And I also like Azure, for the Azure DevOps play. I could get how a company could just go all in on the platform and not even worry about onesie twosies. They could just be like, "Hey, I'm here all on using GitHub. I'm using everything. I'm using Azure DevOps. I have my Kanban. I have my Kanban. I have my Agile." I can see how someone could be totally all the way in and not even worry with stuff. But there's certain things that one cloud does better than the other, and so that's what you get into there. Do you know about the backstage?
Nope.
Oh man, oh
Nobody's
man,
backstage.
they didn't like us. They
Everybody's
didn't.
enjoying their brunch with their feet kicked up on their sofa with their lounge clothes on. And they're like, we're not playing with B today being on camera. We're not going to play with her
Is
today.
Professor Blackout saying before the billion still out there? I don't know if y'all still out there.
Yeah, but they're not playing with us today.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me go back to my notes. Let me make sure. I have everything from my notes. That was Microsoft. Let me see. It was something going on here. Let me double check this one. I might have mentioned it last week. Okay, web creator Tim, I guess Berners Lee startup Interrupt raises $30 million. It's a Series A. Fortune Ventures interrupts new round. The two said Thursday both declined to disclose the size of the deal. The round saw participation from all existing investors, including, I guess, is it Akamai Technologies, Glasswing Ventures, as well as new investors, Allstate, uh, Mindru, Minderoo, and Minderoo's Foundation's Frontier Technology Initiative. That's a lot. TechCrunch reported late in October that the 3-year-old Interrupt was in talks to raise 30 million to 50 million. And let's go. I don't know what Interrupt does. Here we go. See about Interrupt is delivering Sir Tim Lee's original vision of web of shared benefit for everybody.
Did we talk
Um,
about this company last week, or was something similar?
I didn't. I don't
A
think.
similar name.
I don't think I talked about this company last week. If I did, I don't remember. I'll go look at their jobs in a minute. But um, Solid is a technology for organizing data, applications, and identities on the web. Solid enables richer choices of people, organizations, and app developers by building an existing web standards. I guess this is Web 3.0. Then they got their enterprise stuff, and then they have their products, which you can go into their products. But let me go back to about, let me come down here, saw careers right here. Um, so let me blow this up. SRE in Europe, solutions architect, project manager are the three that they have. Let's drop. Let's see what they're talking about. Um, does that look a little? Yeah, it does. That probably should be big right there. All right. So cloud-based CDNs, DNS. You should be familiar with that. Interrupt best practices for reliability, fault tolerance, enable security practices, NPM audit, encryption, threat modeling, on call, automate infrastructure, adapt to various clouds, understand the requirements, understand the assignment, build systems to show how things are evolving, work with developers to deliver software releases, configuration updates and other releases, monitor capacity. Remember, they're Series A. Ensure delivery that focus on continuous integration, testing, reliability, chaos engineering, microservices, containers orchestration, cluster management. And then they get into the solutions architect and then the program manager. PaaS. They don't really say that. I think they're all in all three clouds. Maybe even Oracle. Who knows? Oracle. We saw Oracle was expanding in Europe, and then here's the program manager, and they kind of go into what you need there, right? But this company is a Series A. If you're still not sure what they do, D has the link to them, or you can look at more to what they're doing. Keep a watchful eye on them. You can probably find them on a YouTube channel. We'll go interrupt your. I didn't find it. I'm probably gonna have to go. They may have it on their social media page. They may have social media on their page. Let's see. No, they don't have a YouTube channel. They just got Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So here's the report from Crunchbase: data-driven reporting for private market startups. Found. Oh yeah, this is the stuff on Crunchbase. I don't know why that Crunchbase came up. Oh, because this Crunchbase was this one. Oh, where's my little thing at? Let me go back and grab it. We'll go back and grab. Oh, because okay, never mind. That's all right. I still get to it because I was on that. And let's go interrupt, not interrupt. Interrupt. All right, interrupt. 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 Nothing. So let me go here.
Okay, so up next we have John Bruce, who is in Boston right now.
CEO.
John is the CEO and a co-founder of Inrupt.
We go here. Web, as I envisioned. They're still talking, 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 talking. Data will come. Data will drive what comes next. Today's centralized web. All right, and then tomorrow's decentralized web. Yep. So that's what they web 3.0. All right, and then they got some more talking, 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 and then they talk about their values, their example use cases: healthcare, digital identity, and telecommunications, hosting a fully portable pods. Let me see if they got anything else. They just keep look like they go more dive into the example use cases. I'll get this to D. D can post this so you can read more about them, and what they're doing. We go. All right. Oh, we got something in the comments. Let me look. Group think. Yep. Media relentlessly show bad. Like. Yep. 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 Uh, what is egg nogging it? Oh, okay. Got you. All right. Cool. All right. I got through everything. Nobody backstage, D. All right. Well, our time is done. I hope y'all enjoyed last night and then two shows today. Hopefully, we'll get a binary hustler in there. Um, Look at D.
That
She's
was
like,
that
I
was
need.
it for me. That was a hint, hint, nudge, nudge for myself.
Who you got at the door, D?
Those are solicitors. They probably. I'm pretty sure it's either one. They're trying to sell some solar. They're trying to sell a roof, or
He went away.
some cable. They're trying to switch you to the different cable that's coming through.
Uh, I see. I was like,
It is crazy that people still do door to door sales. Like,
but they be
how would
young. They be young. They be young little lads.
I'm like, who talked you guys into doing this?
They be young little
That's like
lads.
selling steaks door to door. I don't want no door to door steaks.
D, don't be a hater. Don't do it, D. All right, that's all we had today. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. We did have a question. With remote work being the norm, are the software engineers that work? Let's see. Are there software engineers that work in the evenings? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I
Um,
put in the chat that it is company and contract dependent because I know for my company, my team, half of my team is offshore and it's a 10-hour time difference. So it's nighttime when they're working. So when we're going off to lunch, it is time for them to go to bed. But they're up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So Just depends on where you're at
Yep.
and what the project is, and if you're freelancing or you can kind of choose that. But usually, when you have to collab with other team members and you're not on the island, it's usually some type of scheduling.
Hold on. I'm gonna throw my other idea out there. I got 10. I have 10 of them, so I'm okay with it. Hold on. Let
You
me
said
pull
what?
up. Let me pull up my other idea. Hold on. I ain't ready yet. I gotta reshare my stuff anyway. Um.
You prolonging my French toast. What happened?
Um. Hold on.
Engineering cannabis, are you in the Slack? I think the best thing to do is to hit Tam up in the Slack channel.
All right.
Check out these amazing results.
All right. Let me.
Your screen is not shared anymore.
I know. I'll get ready to share my screen. I'll give you my thoughts here. All right. My screen is shared now. Okay. So you have this guy. This is just a car wash, right? And I have to get closer because I gotta be able to share my see where I'm going. Okay, so all right, there's this guy, and this is any guy, right? To wash tires. He uses the brushes. And anybody who washes a car, you got a two bucket system. You wash on top first, or you wash up top, and then down below, you switch out whatever, right? And usually you got a certain type of, a lot of people use filtered water. um the other piece to this is, and this is my me looking at car washing, is to automate the process. Not, and when I say automate the process, there's parts of it that could be automated. And I probably have to get with Albert on this, but it'll be cool to have something that could do the washing of the tires, because it's so low. Eventually, your back starts hurting. So, if you could have something that you could put around the tires, front and back, and it comes in and takes care of the full detail of the tires while this person is washing the car. So that way you're prolonging the life expectancy
So
of
is
their.
it like a little box that you like put in front of each wheel and it kind of does its thing and then you
Yeah,
kind of move it towards each wheel?
yeah,
Is that
or you
something
could,
that you think about?
yeah,
Oh,
or
okay.
yeah, or you can get it where you can put it on the box. It's not just one box, but it's two boxes on some type of system like this that go from front to back, so it
So
kills.
would you, if it's okay, so my thought is if you're hand washing a car, it would you have to be something that you can just sit in front of the wheel and maybe something comes around it or through it or whatever. But if you are want something that goes in between the wheels, like you would have to drive it on something like one of those drive-through car washes
well
where you can get the inner and the outer part.
well, not necessarily, because when, this is just for me washing my car. So when I'm sitting down on my stool, and the stool goes back and forth, right? So I can roll back and forth on it. When I'm washing the wheel, I am getting the inside of the rim in the back, but my arm only goes so far, so you can use a brush, of course. And then in between the spokes, so if it's a spoke that's got something here and dirt here, you got to get that, and then of course dirt, in between that. So if I got something where I could uh, push up to my wheel, it can strap around the wheel just like a tow truck, straps around your tires. So I'm not worried about the damage, and I'm not worried about the brush because we have the brushes already, the horsehairs anyway, right? And so now, basically, at that point, I'm just filling up something. It attaches to attach it to the wheel. It does its thing. It cleans it or preps it, or whatever the case may be. And the reason why I was saying two at one time, so I could take this apparatus and shrink it and pull it out to get the wheel that I want, right? The wheels, the both wheels at one time. And then when I come in to do my thing on, the car above, I'm just gonna go through and, do my thing and then rinse it all off. And then if I have to, shine it, I'll just shine it. I can go around and shine it. But I'm not I'm not I'm not doing it four times. I'm only going around shining the tires and I'm out of here. Does that make sense? So that was one of my other ideas. And how to get that where it's just in, do your thing, come out, go down, in, do your thing, come out. Or it could be an apparatus that you could just attach, clip on, do your thing, and be done. Um, and this piece right here can't scratch the car, right? That was all I had. Yeah, cleaning tires is work.
Cleaning a car is work.
Cleaning a car is easy. Cleaning tires is work.
I mean, but you got a nifty look. Tam got a whole little system. So she got a little bench out there with little wheels on it. The little bench got the little stuff for the little the cleaning supplies, and she got brushes and buckets and I don't know. I think you
And
just
I have
need
my
you need child
towels.
labor for cleaning tires because they got little hands.
But that's what I'm saying.
You need little
I'm just
hands.
looking. I'm just looking. This is what I noticed from people that clean cars. Either they do a couple of things. Either their back hurts, and so what they do is they get acid, and they
They
get
get what?
acid.
Acid.
Yep, they get acid. You
Acid
can't.
burn.
Yeah, like
Okay.
acid burn. Yep, they get acid and they spray it on the tire, but they don't let it. I mean, on the rim, but they don't let it sit there that long because it just breaks it stuff down real quickly, and then they rinse it off, and
Right. But
then
I don't think when I look at detailers, I don't think they wear the right PPE. Like all you see them is walking around in short pants and, some gloves or something like that. But those are chemicals. I think you need longer pants. I think you need long sleeve shirts on. Maybe some type of smock or something while you're doing that. It's just like our neighbor that was going to spray his grass, like some Roundup type chemical in shorts, and it gave him like psoriasis on his legs, and he was just like, "Why did I do that?" Who knows? That just wasn't smart. So, there are there's clothing for the job. So I think a lot of that stuff can be prevented. I think it's an easier way to do a little bit of everything. I think sometimes when we get into automation, um, it can get expensive. Some people are just like, I could just do it myself. Like a new gadget comes out and it's really, really pricey. So you just like, okay, what can I get close to that? Like this
you know,
pool thing is just like, okay, how can you do all of this and make it reasonable? Like it's a good
but that's
idea,
what,
but is it gonna
but
be priced out?
that's why we were saying like the adrenal boards and so forth and so on. I mean, I can go all day, Cisco, about the cars and the segments, like the different things that you need and how to create that. Um, what does that look like? How much time? Like it was a guy I was gonna buy his car route. Um, and he was selling it for like $50,000.
What you mean
Um,
his car route? His car cleaning route?
mhm,
Okay, his car cleaning business.
mhm. And
Okay.
I was gonna buy that, but I got in touch with him, but he never called me back because I wanted to know exactly what he did because I wanted to automate the process, right? You know, how does the customer get in contact with you? How are you generating leads? Um, how are you keeping up with the type of products that you're using? What type of cars are you cleaning? How much are you charging for how much dirt is on a car? And, you know, what type of detail?
Yeah, because usually when you call somebody that mobile details and they're like this one man band, it usually takes it's like a 2 week waiting period. And you're like, I need to get my car washed today or
Right.
tomorrow.
So I wanted to automate that process where it wasn't a 2 week thing. Oh, you need your car washed tomorrow. We can have your car washed tomorrow. You can pick this out, and we can be there. Blah blah blah. Oh, you want us, or you want to bring it to us? You know, my car idea that I
Yeah.
got.
Tam is obsessed to Cisco. Last year for Christmas, I bought her like car stuff. I bought her a special hose, some cleaning stuff, some little brushes. You know, you can always use some more towels. But she was just like a kid in a candy store. She was like, I've been wanting to try this. So
You know, I think the whole blow drying your car with the blower, that's a crock of shit. Number one, whether you got an electric blower or whatnot, it just take a lot to get the blower. And I'm too detailed for the blower type of thing. Where as I'm going over and drying the car, I need to look at marks and like, okay, where did this mark come from? How did this get here? What is this? Is this sap? Where's these chips coming from? I had my whole front end of my Porsche bumper repainted, re PPF. I have had that. I I I got covers for my other car. My rims. I check out my rims. I look at dents. I inspect my car everywhere it goes. I keep it clean. We have a steamer. Uh,
Tam
for
bought me gloves to
I
get
bought you
in.
gloves. Listen. You a fingerprint kitty. You need to understand. On a black car, you cannot be closing the doors with your handprints with all these oils on them. It's just not. It's not fair. It's not fair to me.
How you want me to open the door? Like this?
Th- No, that's why I gave you gloves.
Like this?
No, that's why I gave you gloves.
I don't even know where they are.
That's your fault.
I don't even know where they
And if
are.
you don't open the door like that, please use microfiber towel that I keep right there by the door for you.
And what did what was I was closing her trunk with was
You
I
was
sitting on
sitting
it or
on
with
it.
my knee?
You was
Well, it
sitting on it.
worked.
She would sit in the front of my Porsche instead of her just closing it with her knee. She would actually sit on it. I'm like, big booty Judy, no.
But I wouldn't sit on it hard because it does that double click thing, so it was easier.
I'm back. So I'm over that now. Yes.
Is that what you want to do to me?
No.
See. Oh, she is the worst. Like I have to stop going to the dealership with her because it's like you'll be up there for 2 days. Like you got to pack an overnight bag because you're just gonna be there. You need snacks, pajamas. It's a big ordeal.
No. So what happens when we go to the car dealership? The car dealership, the people there, the manager of the dealership, the finance manager, the everybody there are all my friends. We talk, they text me, what are you doing? Blah 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 blah. We're all friends. And it's not just one dealership, it's two dealerships, and there's a third one. I just don't take her to the third one. I don't even tell her.
Never. I stopped following for. I need to go drop this off, or I need to go by the dealership real quick. It's never real quick.
It is real
It's a
quick.
minimum of an hour. It's never. I got to
Absolutely.
drop it off real quick, and then because they're down the street from each other, she was like, "Oh, let me stop by here." For what? It's 6 o'clock. They're closed. It's dark time.
No,
What
they
is
don't
what are you
close.
doing?
They close at 7 o'clock, and at the end of the month, all the dealerships stay open to 12 o'clock because they're trying to get the end of the month sales in. So they'll be there to sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning pushing deals, and people be in there pushing
And
deals.
yes, they've offered her a job. I'm surprised she hadn't taken it.
And no, they didn't offer a job. They like you'll be really good at it. And the end of the year, I was like, man, are you gonna be open closed for New Year's? No. People are actually in there Christmas. There's like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day is their some of their bigger days. They're gonna be in there 24/7 selling cars.
So I've
Uh,
test driven everything almost. I think except for a Ferrari. Um, every week is something new and something different in a car. Um, I am a fan of classic cars. I like muscle cars, 400 big block engines. But I am a fan of push button convenience, push button start, push button top down. So I'm on the fence about a lot of things, but I think me and Tam can agree if it don't have no zoom zooms, it's not gonna last long.
so here's what I'm a stickler for. I am a stickler for a dirty car. Like I hate dirty cars, especially if you got um food and roaches in your car. Like, why would you have food and roaches in your car?
She watches a lot of car detailing videos, the extreme ones. I sent her one the other day where it
You
was like
did?
uh
Oh, with
somebody's
the cat.
dog. Like they must have had a really hairy dog, but it was like disgusting in the back. So it's these extreme clean videos. I don't even see how you ride around a car
Like this
with your
one.
car dirty like that. That's disgusting.
Like this one. Put this on the screen. This is what I'm talking about. There's no way in the world we could be friends. We couldn't even be friends.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the
You
video.
you we could not be friends
All right,
like
guys,
this.
well, I've got a very long road ahead of me. Likely
Like how did your car get this dirty where you got roaches in your car? Like one of them had roaches and the roaches was still alive.
definitely one you don't want to miss.
Like how do you like how? I
But
don't
you can
understand.
also get bugs in your car from like parking under trees and stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
I got that part, but this ain't from parking under trees. Your car just got roaches.
That's gross. You know who has a car like that? And where like when you get in a car and I love my cousin, yes I do. But when you get in that car, like whatever debris is in the car, it like goes up to your ankles. And so it's just like, I'll meet you there. Like this is how do you ride around like this? And I don't care even if you have kids. The kids should help you clean out whatever they brought in that car that day.
Oh,
And you
you
need to
out of
vacuum.
Canada?
You can get your little home back and vacuum it out like once a week. Because that's disgusting.
Yeah, I didn't know he was out of Canada. Of course, they're my guy Shmi. Hello, this is Shmi. Hello, this is Shmi. But no, yeah. So yeah, I watch these all day long.
I
Getting
mean,
deep.
when you got to clean out a car and it's so filthy that you are disassembling the car, like you are taking out the seats, the front, the back, the liners, the carpet, like I'm gonna need a grip for that. Like I am basically uninstalling and reinstalling the interior of your car to make sure it's clean.
What y'all,
Because
what y'all,
once that
what
stuff starts
y'all,
getting underneath the carpet, it probably is funky as hell.
what y'all think about this car? I'm just curious. What y'all think about
So
this?
beautiful.
What you think about it? It's a 2010. What y'all think about that? Think that's cool?
It's so long, but it's so nice.
What y'all think about it?
So wonderful.
I'll pull it up. GTB 599. It's a Ferrari 599 GTB, but I got it backwards right now. That's the car.
So nice.
And this is the black one.
So nice. So nice. Like, where are you going? Everywhere.
All
I
right.
like when we go places and they're like, "Do you want us to park that in the front?" I'm like, "You gonna park it in the front anyway?
Yeah.
Who's gonna pay extra for that?"
So I have an option to get this car. I haven't decided on if I wanted to get this car or not. I have an option to get this car. There's also a GT3 2018 there. It's a stick. It's got, I think, 3 or 5,000 miles. Oh no, I have to look at my phone. So when I get off here, that's where I'm going. She's not going. So that's what that is. Yeah, I like the
I'm
interior.
gonna make myself some French toast, and she's probably gonna eat before she leaves. Maybe,
Mhm.
maybe not, depending on how itchy this video makes her.
King Digit Designs. I don't know about that. Who's King Digit Designs? That on TikTok? Oh, okay. Restoration. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a car episode.
I think we should
We're
do
gonna
that on
we
binary
can do it
hustle.
on Binary Hustlers. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a car
I'm gonna get
episode.
a forehead camera or something.
Yep. Buy it today. You know what? You say buy it today, right? I went and looked up these cars, right? So this is a binary hustlers talk, and so people ask like, "Oh God, why you buy these cars?" And they're depreciating assets, and they're not. It depends on what you're buying, and I don't want to get into this with you all, whatever, because we could be here forever with this. But and then let's go. 599. And then let's just search. Oh, you want to make me search? Okay, let's go 300. 70, no, 33702. All right, and then let's do nationwide. And then we hit search. All right, so this is a 2011 GTB. I have no idea what's in this car that makes it $799,000 as a great deal.
Great deal.
As a great deal. Then you
Click on
have,
it.
hold on, then you have the next one is 690. There's another one for 1 million that I saw. Uh, and then and the one that's at the dealer now is a 2010 or 2011. I think it's a 2010. Um, but I don't know what is making this particular car be 800,000. I don't know. So I that's what I'm in. I've got to research um to find out what's
Mm-mm-mm.
making this car. Okay, it's a
I wish
limited.
they had like a little button
It's a
where you can
limited.
click and you
It's
can
a
just hear the
limited.
engine. Yeah, I'm
Limited of
gonna
one.
write about that. I need to hear the engine.
You need what now?
Hear the engine. I just want to click a button where it can just like listen to the engine.
Oh, I'll send it to you. I'll send the video of it. It's starting up and them taking off in it and stuff like that. I send that. Yeah, so this is a limited edition. I wonder if this other one is a limited edition.
Does it come with a commercial garage?
For this much money, like I'm like, okay, so I gotta find out the specs on it.
Can you imagine the maintenance or having to wait on parts? I know when I had my motorcycle, because of the color, and I had a Harley Davidson, and because of the color, I literally had to wait 10 months for my color to come up on a wheel because Harley Davidson, they spin the wheel and whatever color comes up on that wheel, they just paint that one color for the whole month. So I literally had to make almost a year to get my tank painted. And I could have got a brand new bike. I was so mad at the insurance company. I was like, I could have got an upgrade, fooling with you guys just billing the dealership. But
I'm trying to
um,
see if this card. I'm speeding through here because I'm trying to see if this is a limited edition too. But this is a GTO and not a GTB.
it's not in the specs written out.
10,000 miles on it. The one they have has 7,000 miles on it. And yeah, see, these are GTOs. This is it's a GTB. Yup. So that's one. And but again, this is appreciating over time. So uh, to do the will you will one would want to do the research over time as to how much it appreciates every year. So this would it gets into the maintenance of this car and the storage of this car of where you're going to store it at, what type of storage do you want to have it, and how many miles can you really drive this car over said amount of time, right? So that's what I was looking at. Um, it's the same way with the new body style that's coming out for the Range Rover. I'm not gonna get into all this. There's a new body style coming out. The allocations are already out for certain dealerships for the 2023s or the 2022s. But anyway, um, and the new Range Rover. There's the image of it right there. So here's what the new ones look like.
That
They
looks like
seat
a Ford.
they seat seven now.
That looked like a Ford. What was that one that they made? A Flex. Looked like a Ford Flex. A
Yeah,
big Ford Flex.
they seat seven now. Um, they have redesigned the interior. There's new the whole like you used to get a nice little interface, but the whole interface of it has changed the whole nine. Um, so there's that one. Um, and what they yeah they're coming out with different stuff for it. So with that being said, what does that do for the value of the Range Rover for the older edition, the older bodies? Because there's still a shortage on cars, there's still a supply chain shortage, so a lot of the used cars have appreciated a whole lot more. Like on the Mercedes lot, like the G wagons are going.
Are they changing the body styles on everything, or just is this the HSE?
I'm not sure if this is the HSE.
Because that looked like
It's,
a Flex.
the G wagons, and even this is what's crazy. Kiana, you may even want to buy you one of these out here and sell it back in California. So the G wagons, I was talking to him, and he was like, G wagons and Range Rovers. What happens is the dealerships buy up the ones in the south, and then when you get them out to California, they mark them up anywhere from 50 to 100,000 over sticker, and they sell out. It's like the dealers in California don't even negotiate at all. They're usually selling anywhere from 50 to 100,000 over sticker. So if you get one here, sell it in California, make you a little money, call it good. That's just an FYI. That's all I had, and I didn't know what.
Is it all you had?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, I was looking at Kiana. She had said something.
She was saying, she mentioned something about food influencers use Patreon.
Ah, got you.
Many of them use Patreon. Well, I guess we were when we were talking about OnlyFans and just
Ah,
throwing some stuff out there.
got you. No, we are not diversity hires, right? She catching up. That's what it is. Yep, yep. And I was like, why would you even care if you were? But again, that's where I'm at, people. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your Saturday. I think what's her name? What's the lady name that set up the 6 o'clock show? The study group at 6.
Who has a study group at 6?
There's somebody had set up a Linux study group at 6.
No, it's at 3. Well, it's
It
three
was
o'clock.
3 East Coast time. I mean West Coast time.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it's at 6.
Oh, okay.
I got the invite. What? I used the algorithms book. Do you take my camera real quick? Let me get it because I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. I can tell you exactly what it is. Hold on. But if you, well, I guess I can't man this station. Hold on. I'll be right back, D.
Is she really going to go get a book?
Mm-hmm. I am.
I hear her walking closer to the office. Let's look at some of these comments. Yes, Kiana, we often cross higher hurdles and more education and experience. We are micromanaged and paid lowers. Others get hired with less skills because of the belief they belong and this is the norm. They give them more leeway to learn on the job than what we ever could. And we always have to do 10 times better. Yes, this lends to the conversation that we were having last night is that, when your colleagues think that you're a diversity hire and what that does to a person mentally, and especially when we have to deal with all of these other things and how companies um, it's a business decision to hire people. And so they're not going to hire you with no skills at all. So it just doesn't make any sense. Like my resume doesn't speak for itself. And if whatever imaginary box they checked on the back end, how do you know? Did an email go out that I was a diversity hire? At the end of the day, I'm in this room with you and we are on the same team. So, what are our goals? What do we need to check off on these lists? Let's get this work done.
D, did you still want to go to the
Sometimes
list?
the HR is the people with the coded language. But it's one of those things where you know when you go to HR, it's like going to the police. Like it's a he say she say. Like how can you prove this? And HR is supposed to be a safe space, but they have their own biases, and they're a lot of times depending on the age and race of your HR person, they look at you like, why are you tripping? I'm pretty sure they didn't mean it like that. Well, how do you know what they meant if we haven't had a conversation? So it gets a little tricky.
All right. So first things first. Um, Distributed systems Principles and Paradigms. The author is my guy, Tannenbaum Van Steen. Tannenbaum and Van Steen, really what it is. It's a Pearson, there you go, Pearson and Princess Hall. You can get that pretty cheap. You probably get that used. These books are older. Um, you can get, oh, hold on, there you go. Algorithm Design Manual. All right, you can get that. Second edition. This is by Stephen, I guess Skeena. There you go there. Um, and there are other ones. This was just the ones I immediately grabbed. I could read. I have a predictive analysis book for AI and machine learning too. Um, but just off the just out of context, algorithm design, data structures, sorting and searching, graph traversal, weighted graph algorithms, dynamic programming, graph problems and hard problems, computational geometry, string problems, algorithm resources. Just a little name a few. I didn't name all of them, but that's where it's at. Oh, you're welcome. Yep, that is correct. Q4. Um, Got you. Yep, yep, yep. So yes, that is all I had today. Glad you. I did a books. It's a books channel in Slack. So if you join the books channel, we usually post books and so forth. I posted stuff over the time. I type those books up inside of there, but you probably like got them already, so you can go from there. You always watch the replay. Let's get D fed. You
What are
ready,
you going to
D?
feed me?
I don't know. Did you want something from Baye? Did you want to be in the house?
No, I'm going to make French toast.
Look at her. No.
That's what I'm going to have. I want to make French toast. That's what I have a taste for. I don't want to go to anywhere else too far um, for victuals. My stomach has been rumbling for the last hour, and this chlorophyll water is not cutting it.
It's all good. Well, Kiana, I'll give you a call here. You're probably still catching up the stream, so I'll call you. You're probably watching the stream. And we will be back. I don't know what binary hustles one of
I'm
these
not
days.
angry. I'm not going to be French toastless for long. It's
No,
going to be delicious.
she's not. We get enough. And I'll probably have me some. Is all the Moet gone? Moetta?
Oh, it doesn't make it better. I don't. It's a bottle of something in there that's open. I think if the Moet was in the black bottle, it is gone.
Oh,
It's
so I need
gone.
to order some more. Maybe I'll order some Dom.
Hmm?
Maybe I'll order some Dom Perignon. Yeah, D is angry. Yep. That invite is in. I don't know. Tracy. Like, if you go back to the RCSA group and hit up Michelle and ask her about that, then
We don't have any
yeah,
details.
that's not our show. That's not our thing. That's her
It's a
thing.
couple of people within the study group that's created the study group, and they're starting
I
from
think it's
chapter
I think
one.
it's her. I think it's her. I think it's her people that she worked with, and they created something, and then she invited people from the group.
Right,
But
from the
that's
group, because we usually don't start with chapter one. Cam kind of goes with the flow of
but on
the process.
the 124. I'll start with chapter one, but in the 134, In chapter 12, they go over how to install Red Hat. And I go through that because you spend a whole semester not even doing an install. So then I do the install and then I skip around things that I think are easy to learn and build you up to stuff. So I skip around in a lot of my stuff. I don't go straight through because some things I think you just need to know. And you all may do an install today. I don't know. This is not my class. This is not a women in Linux class. I don't hold stuff on Saturdays for training because I feel like people just be out and about.
And I
I
know
try to do that during the week.
she said it started at 3, and she gave me an email. I'm not sure if I got an email invite or not, but when I saw 3 o'clock, I automatically assumed that it was 3 p.m. EST. So I knew
Nah,
that I wasn't going to be able to make that.
it's West Coast.
So, but 6 o'clock tonight, I plan on finishing up some studying that I need to do for work. So I'm not going to be able to make it.
I'll probably jump in, but I won't. I don't know how long it's supposed to run. I'm only jumping in high and by type of situation. Oh, here's my calendar. Um, it's only for an hour. She's got 12 people on here. Um,
So go. If you guys have some notes and stuff, you get some questions and work through some problems, engage.
yeah, that's not my study group. So I don't plan on leading it. I'm only jumping in, saying hi, and then I'm out.
If she's
And then,
back from the dealership.
I may not go. I may not make it to the dealership. I'm gonna call them and see if they got it. It was still last time. It was still in the shop getting cleaned up and detailed, certified, the whole nine. So no, they hadn't called me. They already know. But yeah, that's it. All right, folks. We'll see y'all. I don't know, one of these days.
Next Wednesday is the Christmas. So if I'm not mistaken, next week
Yeah, I
is
know.
Christmas. So
I know.
we won't see you next Wednesday. I think next no, and Saturday is Christmas. I have to look at the calendar.
It is. Saturday is Christmas and Christmas Eve is on Friday. Are you gonna do a Christmas giveaway?
Not sure. We can chat.
That means no.
What do you mean? What do you mean it means no? It does not mean no. Does not mean no at all.
Please no. Everybody on here knows that when I say you want to do a giveaway, yeah, let's do a giveaway. Yeah. When she said let's chat, you already know.
We have to chat about what we are going to give away. It's Christmas. It might be a package, deal, like a little swag pack. It might be one thing. It might be two things. It might be multiple things for multiple people. That's what I said. Let's chat. It's the end of the year. See how you do?
What'd you say? All right, y'all be y'all be saying